have BMX Best Trick. This one is without a doubt the event that I've been looking forward to most this weekend. We have a heavy lineup, and I have some of the tricks in front of me that I'm reading here, and I'm baffled to say the least.
You got the cheat sheet. You got the golden list right there.
I can't believe some of these tricks that are on this sheet. There's a lot of things here that I personally haven't even seen. So the crowd is certainly going to be in for a shock.
Yeah, it's insane when you look at some of that stuff and you read it and your eyes see it, and it's a heck of a lot to process, but we are going to see it as we roll through this BMX Best Trick Final out here tonight. There's a look at the first page of your start list. Talk about some of your standouts there, Todd.
Without a doubt, Pat Casey, he's a favorite of mine. He's doing a lot of tricks out there that a lot of people haven't done. So I'm rooting for Pat. As on the next list, Brandon Schmidt. I know he has some big tricks lined up.
Yeah, there's definitely a list of heavy hitters right there, and unlike what you saw earlier tonight in the triple hits, this is all about sending it down that Giganta, and it's all about one massive hit right there. You're going to get several attempts at it out here tonight, but it is the best run that counts as we crown a champion. We started off with a gentleman who rides both scooter as well as BMX. He's out of Estonia. It's Rumet Salik.
First trick of the night is a 1080 front flip. That's a good way to start the contest off. This is a little bit different to the triple hit, as they only have one jump that they need to pull. So pretty much they're going big.
So that was a great way to start this one off. Again, they're going to get multiple shots at it out here tonight. You generally see him in a lot of scooter competitions, but showing you right out of the gate that he can hold his own here in BMX Best Trick.
That is a perfect 1080 front flip. It's always good stopping your first run, especially having something like that, because that leaves some room to throw down and not worry too much about falling off, as you've already got a good score on the board.
All right, so we'll see what this does for the score right there. Maybe we'll see how that score shapes up here in just a bit as we go back up to the top. He's going to get an 82.66. So again, working on a 100-point scale as we get set to bring in our next rider here. This is Dylan Devitt. Went out to our Willie Land for the first time last year at the Nitro World Games Open Qualifier. They convinced him at that competition to try his first ever double flip, and now he finds himself at the Nitro World Games.
This is his first Nitro World Games, and he's also starting off with a 1080 front flip. You could also call it a cork 1440. There's a bit of debate between them both, but it's wild regardless.
So two big hits to start it off here in BMX Best Trick. Rumet with an 82.66. Let's take another look here at Dylan's first attempt.
So slow, spots the landing, brings it around. Perfect. Can't get much better than that. Pedaling down and getting extra speed. These guys are going massive off this jump. We actually call it the moon booter, Jimmy, because, as we say, it takes you to the moon.
All right, so what's this going to be? He's got an 83.50, so going to rank just a little bit higher than Rumet, so that'll put him in that top spot for now. However, we are just getting started here, so you're going to see these names jumping around that leaderboard quite a bit out here tonight. Taking a look at another Nitro World Games rookie out of Sydney. This is Sam Gibson coming down the roller.
Is that a 1080 front flip bar spin? I ride, Jimmy, and I can't even keep up with what these tricks are.
I feel for you, dude. You're in the hot seat over there, because even with the cheat sheet, you got to figure all that out.
There's too many tricks to look at on here. They all look absolutely mind-blowing, and I don't understand even what's going on. This is the third jump of the night so far in BMX Best Trick. And as I said, it's always good to throw down and land your first run, because it gives you some room to really go big on the remaining jumps. 1080 front flip bar spin.
Dare I ask the question, it looked like he maybe wanted to throw something else into the mix right there. The body language looked like he was maybe sizing something else up. Either way, he's in the top spot with an 87 flat. We're only 3 riders in, and we've seen 3 different lead changes already. I mean, the first 3 hits have been good, and we've got 3 different lead changes, and this is just going to keep on rolling. Coming up next, he's 25 years old, out of the Gold Coast, another Nitro World Games rookie. This is Liam Quinlivan.
Liam's got some bangers. This is his first Nitro World Games. Double backflip Superman to start off. Liam actually qualified for this at the qualifiers at our Willie Land a year back, so I know he's stoked out here to be throwing down with the boys.
I mean, watch how far off the bike he comes on the first part of the rotation.
Jimmy, if you miss those feet going back on for that second rotation coming around, pretty much it's not coming around. So that trick is certainly a risky one.
So where's this going to slide him in the mix? A 78, so he's going to have to settle for fourth right there. That's going to put him just behind Rumet Salik. But as of right now, Sam Gibson sitting in that top spot with a high 80s with an 87 flat for now. Moving on into the local boy. See lots of different online clips of him. This is Brock Hornman.
Backflip bar spin to no, double backflip bar spin to no-hander. Brock has some wild double flip combinations. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that one before.
We're about to get another look at it right here as we get set to tee up some slow-mo replays of Brock's first attempt here.
The risky thing about this trick, Jimmy, is it's the same as the double backflip Superman before. Pretty much, if you miss those bars on that first rotation, it's not going to end up good at all. So that's definitely risky, throwing the bars in at the start. Massive no-hander there to finish it off.
I mean, to catch those things and then tuck your knees under like that to get the hands off in the middle of two rotations with the height that you have coming off of that thing. And he finds himself in the number 2 spot right there in the high 80s with an 86. That'll put him just behind Sam Gibson. So we are off to a great start, and I have a feeling that this is only going to get wilder and crazier as we move on. So we get set to bring in Pat Casey right here. As you mentioned, one of your favorites. And I mean, this guy is just an absolute master when it comes to combining tricks.
Cash 1080 front flip whip. I need to read this sheet, Jimmy, because
that's why I handed that thing straight to you. I was like, here you go. You got your work cut out for you out here tonight.
I should have studied this before I sat down. Got tail whip, cork 1080 tail whip. Unfortunately, just washing out there, but he's got a couple of more attempts.
Well, you're going to get multiple chances at it out here tonight, so that is going to be a throwaway run right there for Pat. Here we go. Coming up next, part of Ryan Williams' crew at our Willie Land. They call them the Hill Willies. This is Harley Allen.
Just cranking in there. This is going to be double backflip 360. What? Absolutely perfect. He's one of the only other guys out here throwing down that trick. That one's still pretty new in the world of BMX. But I know he's going to be stoked on that one. Cranking down, getting as much speed as he possibly can, flipping around, spotting that landing, and that was, you honestly couldn't get any smoother than that. And Jimmy, this is the first run.
Yeah, I mean, we're literally just getting underway here in the first round of runs. So what is this going to be here for Harley right there? Again, it's an 87 flat as the top spot. He's into the 90s with a 90.16. So here in the early part of round 1, Harley Allen finds himself in the top spot. So now it's Allen, Gibson, Hartman, your 1, 2, 3. Take a look at those scores right out of the gate there, Todd. We're already into the 90s.
Harley's in a good position, putting down a solid 90. But we still got a heavy group coming up, Jimmy.
Oh. Well, Brandon Schmidt, they call him Schmitty, out of New Jersey, one of the regular staples on the Nitro Circus live show tour. Welcome him back in here to Nitro World Games.
Oh, just coming up short. Smitty going for that double backflip, double tail whip. Unfortunately, not quite enough speed, but happy to see him walk away from that one.
See the reaction right there from Ryan Williams as Schmitty comes down to talk to the medical crew.
Backflip, double tail whip, and kind of glad to see him walk away from that one.
I was gonna say, just the way that he came in on that, he kind of like did the helmet slide on the resi there, but I mean, he got up from that rather quickly and able to get up and walk. Did he knock a tooth out on that one?
I think he knocked his tooth out.
We'll have to wait and see if he comes back there in round number 2. Brandon Lupos, you saw him earlier in triple hits, trying to put in some work. You see him right there at the top of the roll, and I ended up going through the motions right there. Here we go. We'll welcome him in for his first attempt here at Best Trick.
A backflip, quadruple tail whip. Unfortunately, not quite getting it around. Lupos used to ride full time with the Nitro Circus, so he is used to this ramp.
Was looking at a potential podium earlier in BMX triple hits and then just got edged out by Justin Dowell in that last round. So gonna have to go get some work done on that bike and look to the next round right here. This is Chris James out of the Gold Coast.
This one's gonna be a big one. And front flip, Superman C-grab and rolling away.
The hang time on that was absolutely ridiculous. And did you see how deep that he sent that one? And it gets the Ryan Williams seal of approval right there as Ryan standing on the staircase.
That trick's a risky one. If you put your hand on just that little bit too late in the front flip, you are just, that front flip rotation comes around so fast and it doesn't normally end very well, but he stomped that.
You see, watch how he arches his back right there. Look at where his feet are.
That is insane.
How do you not over-rotate that?
That is 10 out of 10 for execution, height, position, everything.
It just seems like you'd have so much momentum coming back around after that extension that it would want to throw you forward, but he puts that one down with an 84 flat. That's going to put him on the edge of podium contention right there. That'll slide him into 4th place as of right now. Here comes a best trick machine. Here we go, David Gonziak out of Poland.
Oh, was that a 1440, Jimmy?
I wasn't told I was going to have to do math out here
well,
tonight,
no,
Todd.
the thing is that this jump is just giving these guys so much more time than any other usual jump. And this is just giving them insane amounts of time to do tricks that pretty much the possibilities are endless. I think that was 4 full rotations.
Take another look at it.
1, 2, 3, 4. And perfect. Everyone is stomping everything right now. This contest is definitely a heated one, and this is my favorite event of the whole night.
I mean, first hit right out of the gate for David right there. And again, you saw him earlier tonight out here in Triple 10, 93, and he takes over the top spot. David Gonziak with the 1440 puts himself in the top spot here in round number 1 of BMX Best Trick. Where in the world are we gonna, this one always gives me anxiety because where do you go? It just, the level just keeps getting upped every single round. Here comes Andrew Hutchinson.
We call him Gecko. We got a cash roll bar spin to invert. So he spins a front flip rotation, looks backwards, which is that's what we call a cash roll, spins the bar, and then on that last rotation, puts in the invert. Cash roll, bar spin, to invert.
And look at it, he kind of manuals out of that a little bit. I saw that at real-time speed, but watch this, watch the back tire.
To manual.
And
more points.
And he just played it off like, yeah, I meant to do that.
More points.
So there you go, a 76 flat for him right there. That'll slide him in that number 9 spot. Hey, how about that save though right there? You put that down back wheel like that, and you ride that one out in the manual. Well done there, Mr. Hutchinson. Jay Tui coming off of 2 X Games medals earlier this summer. He got a bronze in Mega Park, the first ever BMX Mega Park event at X Games, and he got a silver in dirt. Looking for a little bit of redemption out here in BMX Best Trick out here tonight, Todd.
Watch when Tui rolls down the ramp. He pretty much pedals the whole way down. I don't think anyone goes higher than Tui, and I think we're in for a treat with this one. 1, 2, triple backflip. Couldn't have asked for a better landing. And that is a great run to start off with.
There's that smile. That first run goes the way that he planned that one. Look how deep he sends this one down into that landing too. I mean, and you called it. Look at him cranking down the rolling.
Man, it's absolutely incredible. Tui's on the live tour, and he does these every night, and the consistency on them is just unreal. You know, it was only a few years ago that, you know, a triple was done, and then the quad, and And now Jay's throwing triples down like it's nothing. And makes it look so easy. Look how high he goes.
That's why he gives him those couple extra cranks coming down the roll in there. And what are the judges going to reward? A triple backflip at 92.33. So that'll slide him into that number 2 spot just behind David Godziak right there. So nicely done here. Round number 1, J2, he finds himself in the top 3. And here comes Ryan Williams. He's walked out of here in the top spot the last 2 times we have contested BMX Best Trick here on this ramp at the Nitro World Games. What's he got for us his first go around? Oh my
front
gosh!
flip, front bike flip, and stomps it. He is going to be over the moon with that one, and it's going to be a super hard one to beat, Jimmy. He's the only guy in the world doing that. He was the one that first started doing just the front flip, bike flip, and now he's doing it in front flips. And to be honest, I don't think anyone else is going to ever be doing that trick. Our Willie is a special kind of human, and he has an endless bag of tricks. Watch this, Jimmy. Front flip, front bike flip, grabs it, pulls it around, and perfection on that landing.
I mean, watch where he catches this, and look at his body positioning, and he has to pull that back around under his feet and then finish out that rotation.
That blows my mind, that trick. Absolutely incredible. I mean, how do you even come up with that? Like, I'm going to front flip, I'll try and throw my bike around, and hopefully it comes back to me.
I mean, he's in a full KOT position right there.
It's like a front flip, front bike flip, nothing.
I mean, he's fully inverted on the catch.
That blows my mind. See, our Willie used to, and still is, a scooter rider, but he jumped on a bike one day and just started bringing all these scooter tricks to BMX and started changing the game.
And he brings a 96.33 and puts himself in the top spot. Let's send it down to Caroline.
Congratulations, Ryan. You have put yourself back on the map here tonight. How have you managed to juggle 3 disciplines? You've already been in scooter, you've been in the triples, you're now back in BMX. How do you do it?
I can tell you I'm exhausted right now, but it's for all the fans in the crowd, everyone at home. I wasn't going to come out here and not put my best tricks on display. Added a little spice to that one. That was for everyone at home.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Give it up.
Well, that was pretty casual. He's just going to call that spice, right? If that's spice,
man,
I'm nervous to think about what's coming in those next 2 rounds. I mean, we're going to get 3 runs out here tonight out of all these boys in this lineup, but man, what a finish at the end of round number 1. A very excited Ryan Williams there, and rightly so. He starts it off with a 96.33. This is what we stand, or how we stand as of right now, I should say. The scores in the 90s go all the way down to 4th place as of right now. Round 1's in the books. We got 2 more rounds still to come when we come back to BMX Best Trick Final. So a sportsman's paradise out here. When did you guys find time to go out there and go do some trails riding like that and take a helicopter ride as well?
this was an amazing experience, Jimmy. Just riding those trails, and as you can see, Willie's always sending it. He had a big crash, lucky to walk away from that one. But we were shown to some pretty epic sights around Brisbane.
Yeah, it goes off in the daytime as well as the night. Speaking of going off, at the end of that first round of runs, it was Ryan Williams making an absolute statement here, Todd, in BMX Best Trick Final.
Man, that's going to be a tough job to beat that front flip, front bike flip. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I can't comprehend it. And as I said, all these tricks in front of me, there is definitely some more to come.
Yeah, that's one round of runs in the books. It's 3 rounds, and it is the best run that counts out here tonight. So it is far from over. Look at this massive expanse of ramps and resis that are packed inside the Suncorp Stadium out here tonight as the Nitro World Games finds a new home here in 2022. We go back up to the top of the order. You normally see him. He's a top worldwide ranked scooter rider. This is Rumet Salik getting work done here in BMX Best Trick.
Oh, just letting go and flail into the ground, but he looks okay, just walking off a little bit disappointed, I think. don't think he obviously he didn't get what he wanted, but he's still got one more run to go, Jimmy.
Yeah, he's got that 82.66 from round one. It's got him in that number 9 spot for now. We'll see how that holds up going through this round and into round number 2 as we get set to bring back in Mr. Dylan Devitt. Gonna get a replay out of him. It looks like we are not. We're gonna move right on. So this is BMX Best Trick final presented by Monster Off-Road Wheels, and Dylan Devitt.
Front flip, bike flip. It wasn't too long ago, Jimmy, that trick was unheard of, and now people are throwing it down every other day, and Dylan stopped that.
Getting a pat on the back and a little love there from Brandon Schmidt. So what is it going to be here for Dylan in run number 2?
Cranking in. Front flip, bike flip, reaching out, just catching onto it, and stoked on that one. See, the good thing about this, too, Jimmy, is that when you're doing these tricks, like, they're massive. So when you're rolling away and you know you're safe, that's a win in itself.
So he's gonna get a 72 run number 2, so he's gonna stick with that first run score of 83.50. See Schmitty in the background there, doing a little meet and greet with the fans, signing some autographs. We're getting word from Sports and Comp that Brandon is not going to come back and take run number 2 or 3, so hopefully he is okay. But you see him standing down there and hanging out, so it sounds like he's electing to sit this one out. Just watch the rest of this unfold as we bring back in Sam Gibson. He currently sits in that number 5 spot as of right now.
We've got a 1080 front flip. Jimmy, I can't keep up with all these spins, and they're gonna need to re-watch that slow-mo. But flailing out of control there. These guys just have so much time to do these tricks that they're just throwing in bar spins and extra flips. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1080 front flip or 1440. 3 3/4.
Yeah, almost on the, and he's still got another round of runs to go here, so we'll have to see him trying to put that one down here in run number 3. Here comes Liam Quinlivan. He sits in that number 10 spot. He had a 78 flat that first go around.
I like the look in their faces. That's when you know something big's gonna go down. Double backflip, Superman again. I think he wanted to take his hands off on that one, Jimmy. As you can see, he's got back up in the butt. Yeah, you can see it right there.
You can see him talking about it, looking over there, and you can see he wanted to tuck and get the hands off like you called. See if you can see it in the rotation here.
Superman pulls back in, and if you miss that point in that double flip to throw your hands off, then it's really hard to take them off because the momentum's not there, and the bike flies away.
That's all right, you got another run, Liam. So round 3, remember, out of these 3 rounds of runs, it is the best run that counts out here tonight. So he'll go back up to the top of the rolling and wait this one out. You had Brock Hornman with an 86 flat. He was in the top 3 spots there for a while. He now finds himself 3 spots out of podium contention as he slides down to that number 6 position with that 86 flat.
Brock's dropping in. We got another double backflip bar spin. Same deal, Jimmy. I think he was looking for another one in that. So backflip, bar spin, and I think he wants to throw a second one in the second flip. Yep.
Yeah, he's talking you through it right there. He can hear you out there. He's talking you through it on the video wall.
Backflip, bar spin, pulling it back around. And you have to be so precise with when you throw the bars, otherwise the bike's just gonna fly away from you. Don't think he quite got the rotation that he wanted to feel safe enough to throw that second bar spin.
I mean, it's tough even in the slow motion replay. He spins those bars so fast right when he tucks into that rotation right there. I mean, even in slow-mo, you still have to really pay attention at it to catch it right there. Somebody just told me what sign said, do better.
Sign? Do better.
A little bit of...
I think you're doing great, Brock.
Bonus motivation going on out there. Here comes Pat Casey. Had a little bit of a slip up there in run number 1.
10, going for that 10 front flip again. Stomping it this time. Getting it on that second run. Pat's going to be stoked with that. This level of riding is next level.
I mean, I don't even know how the judges can sit in that room and process and go through all this at real-time speed and sit there and have these conversations. Look at this.
I know if I ever got asked to be a judge, I'd 100% without thinking about it say no, because there's no way that I want to be responsible for judging these tricks and what they're worth.
Okay, so what does this do to Pat? Score, he's in 12th with a first round score of 42 flat. See where this is going to slide him into the mix as we await Harley Allen here in his next run. Again, 3 rounds of runs. It's the best run that counts. We're working off a 100-point scale out here tonight. Pat Casey finds himself in the 90s. It's a 92.50. Welcome to the podium for right now, Pat Casey. So it's Ryan Williams, David Godziak, and now Pat Casey, your 1, 2, 3 here in round number 2. That was huge right there for Pat. Harley Allen in the 90s as of right now. He's got a 90.16, but as of right now, that's only good enough for that number 5 spot, Todd.
We got a triple
triple
backflip no-hander.
What?
He rolls away from it.
How did he get that
What?
last rotation around, Todd?
Man, I did not think that third one was going to come around then, and he just stomped that. He can't even believe it.
I can't. I was like, there's no way. Oh, there is, and he did it.
Man. Yeah, Harley. So this is what I love about action sports. You know, everyone's competing against each other, but everyone's on top of the ramp, cheering each other on. Everyone just wants the best for everyone. And Harley just nailed it.
I mean, that reaction says it all. Watch. I mean, he too was cranking down that roll-in.
Takes his hands off.
But right here, how did he tuck that last rotation in? He's leaning way over the bars and hangs on to that.
I think he's lucky that he pedaled as fast as what he did into the ramp, because that gave him that couple of extra feet on the length, which gives him that little bit more time, and he definitely needed that little bit more time, but he just stomped it.
He's pulling on those bars for dear life, and look at it. I mean, his chest was in the crossbar on that one.
I just love watching the reactions on their face, like they can't even believe.
Look at how far forward he is on this last rotation on the landing.
Man, from past experience with this trick, you know, on that last one there, is thinking, please come around, because I feel like he can't even believe it, and this is going to be interesting, Jimmy.
So an 88 flat for that one right there. So he's going to have to stick with his first run score of 90.16, and even though he forces that one around, that is going to keep him in that number 5 spot as of right now. So again, Brandon Schmidt is electing to not take runs number 2 or 3, and that is going to bring us back to Mr. Brandon Lupos here. He's down there at the bottom of the pack after that first attempt there. Todd sitting at that number 14 spot with a 28 flat for run number 1.
Yeah, Lupos has some massive tricks, and he is without a doubt a contender for the first place trophy. You see him getting ready to drop in. He's got that look in his eye.
All of them do. I mean, I love to watch this event, but it's also absolutely terrifying when they get that look in there at the top of the roll. And what's it going to be for Brandon?
That is a double backflip 360. We call that the Aussie roll. And he's pumped to get that one done and roll away. Don't know if it's quite enough to take first. But now he's got a score on the board, so that leaves some room to save something for his third run.
Definitely looking to bounce out that 28 for now here in round number 2.
Lupos just is such a smooth rider. You can see him just spotting his landing on every rotation of that trick, and he couldn't land any better.
Okay, so now we sit and wait and play the score game here. We got Chris James coming up next. We still have a handful of riders to go here in this round, and then we get to do this all over again.
And I know Lupos has a couple more in the bag. I think he just wanted to get that score on the board.
So he's into the 90s now with a 90.30, so that'll slide him into that number 5 spot. So he's wedging there between Jay Toohey and Harley Allen, so he'll overtake Harley for that number 5 spot. So the 90s now creep down as far as that number 6 position. And then you got a couple of high 80s there with Sam Gibson at 87 and Brock Hornman with that 86 to round out the top 8 right there.
I think it's going to be hard to beat that 96, Jimmy.
Yeah, we've said this 1,000 times already tonight, but I've been saying it again, the judges have their work cut out for them, and they are earning their keep this evening as we take another look. Coming down the rolling here, it's Chris James out of Gold Coast.
We got a front flip cannonball. So you obviously do a front flip, take both feet off, grab the seat with both hands, and pretty much hope for the best.
So he's going to have to keep his eyes set on round number 3 right there, but getting up and walking away from that one, no worse for the wear right there. But
I mean, these guys have to be throwing down their biggest tricks, because what we're seeing right now is something that you don't get to see very often. And this ramp that we have in front of us is just opening up so many possibilities for the sport.
So we're down to our final 4 here in round number 2 before we get into that 3rd and final round of runs. Your next rider in currently sits in that number 2 position with a 93 flat. It's David Godziak.
Oh, just missing the handlebar there, coming around on that 7. I need to get better at math, but they're just spinning so fast. But he hit his head, but it looks like he's okay.
Well, you can see the medical staff, they're talking to him right now and just making sure, I'm assuming at this point, possibly talking it over for maybe concussion protocol there.
If you miss those handlebars, putting your hands back on, then it just affects the whole way the rotation spins. See, the bars just fell out of his lap there.
Oh, and look at his left hand. He's grabbing the underside of the grip right there, too.
And he's literally landed completely backwards.
Oh, yeah, just you can see right there at the end of that replay, he got the whiplash and quickly holding onto his helmet right there. So that's why they were quick to sit down and start talking to him. You can see him holding up fingers in front of his face right there. Going through the motions there for concussion protocol. So we'll see if he's able to come back and take that 3rd and final run, which is going to bring us back to the top of the roll in attempt number 2 here for Andrew Hutchinson.
I've heard some rumors, Jimmy. I think the crowd is about to be treated to something massive here.
He's down there in that number 13 spot. We'll see if he's going to unleash it here tonight in this 2nd run, Todd.
What do we got? Going for the double front flip, no hand. Unfortunately, just popping off the back end. Not what I thought he was going to do. Maybe he's saving it for the last jump. I hope he's saving it for the last jump. And so he's going to be taking his first score.
Was that the teaser, what he just did with the hands right there, possibly what we're going to see?
I don't want to ruin it, Jimmy. I don't want to, yeah.
Oh, man. That just gave me goosebumps just thinking about it right there. So here we go. With J2, he was in podium contention. He now finds himself just 1 spot out, sitting in that number 4 spot.
Oh, going for the front flip, bike flip there. Unfortunately, the back wheel just clipping his stomach. That trick is a wild one. Pretty much you've got to spin the bike around in front of you and watch him lean back to try and get out of the way, and unfortunately not getting out of the way in time. So he'll be taking his triple flip score.
So now they've passed off the do better sign to Schmitty down there. He's not taking the second 2 runs, so he's down there holding up the do better sign for everybody as they come off of the ramp right there. Last guy in the rotation before we go into the 3rd and final round. He also happens to be your current leader with a 96.33. It's Ryan Williams.
Willie is in a great spot right now. We got,
man.
720 double flip. I'm glad he's up and he's okay.
Yeah, he bounced up quickly from that one.
He's in a great position. He's on top at the moment. He's got a massive score, and it's going to be hard for anyone to top that. But this is Nitro World Games.
See him talking it over some of the medical staff right there. It looked like he got a little bit of a head bounce there.
He's peeling in here. Oh, that was his first trick, the front flip, front bike flip, which is giving him the lead.
So that's 2 rounds of runs in the books. It's Ryan Williams still sitting in that top spot. The 3rd and final round still to come. Who's going to walk out of this one the victor? We'll find out when we come back to Nitro World Games. Those Hot Wheels Superchargers events are always such a good time. Got 7 of them on the calendar here in 2022, including one coming up next weekend in Sydney, and it feeds into our Junior World Games, which we just had on the Gold Coast last weekend as well. But here in Brisbane, inside the Suncorp Stadium, we've still got some business to take care of here in BMX Best Trick Final, presented by Monster Off-Road Wheels. It's Ryan Williams sitting in the top spot for now. However, we go back up to the top of the order. Everybody's going to get one more shot at it here tonight, Todd, and it's best run that counts. So this thing is still up for grabs as we bring back in Rumet Salik.
Rumet dropping in. We've got another 1080 front flip. Unfortunately, just coming up a little bit short. That's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, he started off that first round of runs, great style, 82.66, but that's going to leave him in that 11th place position here in round number 3. So we quickly move along to Dylan Devitt here. Dylan sitting in that number 10 spot. He too was off to a great start, but that 83.50, good enough for that number 10 position here.
He's always so happy, always got such a big smile on his face. And this is his first Nitro World Games. I know he's happy to be out here and throwing down. What do we got, Jimmy? We've got a double backflip 360, and unfortunately just coming up a little bit short.
Just kind of bounced right there, and you can see that just kind of tucks the limbs in right there and then slides that one out. It was still a pretty heavy impact, but he gets up from that one no worse for the wear.
That's such a wild trick, Jimmy. It's so hard to figure out and see where you are because there's so many blind spots in the trick, and that's why, unfortunately, coming up a little bit short and not being ready for the landing.
Okay, so that'll bring us down to Sam Gibson here. He had that first round score of 87 flat. That's got him in that number 7 spot.
We've got another cork front flip 1080. These guys are all going for this one trick, and unfortunately just sliding out.
You need a 92.50 or better if you're going to crack into that top 3 as of right now. That's Pat Casey sitting in that number 3 spot. David Godziak with a 93 flat. And then you've got Ryan Williams sitting in the lead. However, here comes Liam Quinlivan. He's in that number 12 spot, and he is visibly pumped up right here. Todd, what are we going to see?
I wonder if we're going to see this double backflip Superman to no-hander, and unfortunately just misses the no-hander. That trick you have to be so precise for, because when you take your hands off on a flip, you want to be just about upside down, because that's when the bars fall into your lap. If you take them off any later, the bike's just going to fly away from you, and it's not going to end well.
He was so close right there. You can see just trying to pull that in to get the knees under right there to get the hands off the bars. He says just that close. So he's going to stick with that first run score of 78 flat, leave him in that number 12 spot. So we take a look at our current standings. Again, it's Ryan Williams, David Godziak, and Pat Casey, your 1, 2, 3. David Godziak, we're being told by Sports and Comp, is withdrawing from this 3rd and final round. So he's going to have to hope that 93 flat holds up here in this 3rd round. So a developing situation here in round 3. Your number 2 ranked rider not taking run number 3, but here we go with Brock Hornman.
We got that double backflip bar spin again. Unfortunately, not getting what he was after, which was the double backflip, double bar spin. It's so crazy. These variations alone in a single flip is something, but you know, these guys are doing it in double backflips now. And as I was saying, Jimmy, that's why this ramp's so great, because the trick lists are just becoming endless, and these guys can pretty much throw anything down on this because they have so much time to do what they want.
I mean, it's just look at, again, I mean, look how this is shaping up like it was in triplets. I mean, look how far down the standings, the scores in the 90s go. I mean, an 86 and an 87 are only good enough for 7th and 8th place as of right now. Coming down the roll and sitting in 3rd place, it's Pat Casey.
Oh, what? I'm going to have to look at that one again. But I believe that was a 720 front flip tail whip to downside tail whip. But I'm unfortunately just missing that kick back.
So Pat's going to stick with that 92.50. Hopefully it keeps him on the podium. As of now, again, it's Williams, Godziak, and Casey, your 1, 2, 3 as of now. Harley Allen put down a big one there in round number 2, but it's only good enough for 6th place as of right now. That's how crazy this is.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna go for it again. Some people might be wondering why it didn't score too well, and that's because, you know, these tricks, these tricks, I hope he's unfortunately taken a rough slam there. Coming up short on a triple backflip is no joke. And he's coming in with so much speed from that rotation. So when you come up short like that and you get catapulted forwards, it's a recipe for disaster. Medic's just taking some care of him.
And the medical staff tending to him now. And he gets up and walks away under his own power right there. And you can hear the roar of applause from the fans here.
The crowd is certainly getting a show.
I mean, you hate to see that, but you love to see these guys get up and walk away after it happens.
Just missed that pop a little bit. And at that point, once you're spinning a triple flip, you can't pull out. So you pretty much know as soon as you take off that lip if you've got a good enough spin or not. And pretty much if you know you're not coming around, you're pretty much holding on just.
From that angle, he saved himself there because he kind of tucked around and took most of that on the back versus getting all that on the left collarbone right there. So that, I mean, that was great awareness right there by Harley Allen. And again, I mean, hats off to you for getting up and walking away and smiling no less after taking a hit like that, Todd.
Yeah, I'm glad he's okay after that one, Jimmy. That was certainly rough, but Harley's certainly a tough one, and not much will keep him down.
Okay, last round of runs. Brandon Lupos climbed out of the bottom there. He was ranked 14, finds himself in that number 5 spot. Can he bump up once again? Again, you need better than a 92.5 if you're going to crack into the top 3 as of right now as we send him down the roll-in for his 3rd and final attempt.
What do we got from Lupos? And a double backflip 360 tail whip. That was absolutely wild. There's only one other guy that's done that trick before, Ryan Williams. But it's absolutely wild because he, as you can see, he spins the double flip 360, spots his landing, and then kicks it on the last rotation. So that whole last rotation, when you're kicking that whip, you have no idea where you are. You are completely blind. Devastated he didn't roll away from that one. These guys are throwing down, Jimmy.
So that's going to bring us down. We're taking a look at the standings again to tell the story here. David Godziak sitting in that number 2 spot, and we were told by Sports and Comm he is not going to take this 3rd run. So that means we are down to our final 4. You got Ryan Williams sitting in that top spot, who gets to go last in the run order here. There's only 3 people left essentially then that can challenge here for that top spot. You got Chris James up on top of the roll-in there, locked and loaded right here.
Yeah, I'm just looking over some of these tricks here, and I'm just trying to figure out which one Chris is going to do, because we are down to the final runs, so it's now or never.
Ryan up there just having a good old time and cheering him on right there. So here we go, 3rd and final attempt for Chris James.
Front flip, double seat grab Superman from Chris. Unfortunately, just under rotating that front flip. The thing with that trick is you have to under rotate a little bit to know that you're coming around, because if you're not back on and you've already completed the front flip, you're just getting whipped forwards, and it doesn't normally end too well. So unfortunately, just coming up a little bit short on that.
So we'll skip David Godziak here in the lineup here, and that'll bring up Andrew Hutchinson, who finds himself in that number 13 spot with a 76 flat.
Are we gonna see it? Double front flip, no hander. Same deal, unfortunately, coming up a little short, landing heavy on the back wheel. And
so that means we have 2 left. You have J2, he's still to go. And then you have Ryan Williams. So Ryan on your right there, your current leader. You've got Pat Casey sitting in that number 3 spot. David Godziak sitting in that number 2 position. So Jay Tui is the last man standing between those 3 gentlemen being on the podium. He's 1 spot out. He's on the outside looking in right now. He's knocking on the door. Just a couple of tenths of a point behind. Can he do it, Ty?
If he pulls this one, I think it's going to give Willie a run for his money. Front flip, bike flip to tail whip. As you can see, I think he wanted the double tail whip out of it, but that's still a solid trick. And I mean, this is going to be interesting because Jay's in 4th place right now, and everyone wants a podium. So, I mean, this is a tough one.
Yeah, you got a 92.33 and a 92.50, so they're neck and neck right now.
Front flip, bike flip to tail whip. It was Willie first doing that trick, and then Tui was actually the next guy to come and start making this trick a normal occurrence.
Take a couple more looks at this last attempt here for Mr. Tui. The head-on angle just gives you full appreciation of what's going on in this trick.
I mean, we've got one rider that can possibly take out Willie at this point. Don't know if that's going to be enough. It certainly could be a podium finish for Tui.
So your current leader sitting up on top, he's the last guy to ride as we await the score here, so it is not going to be enough. He's going to stick with that first run, or 92.33 from round number 1, so a 4th place finish. That means our podium is set, and so is our winner, because he's the last guy to ride, and he's going to walk out of here with a victory lap.
And I know Willie well enough to know he is going to throw down something massive for the fans. Willie just is always down to throw down. It doesn't matter if he's 1st place at the moment. He is going to throw down something massive.
He says 3rd time's the charm. He's got written on the finger right there, on that left glove right there, and just having a great time out here as he's waiting for the green light to send it down the roll. And here we go. He's already got the win. This will be his 3rd, the only one who's ever won BMX Best Trick on the Giganta that we've contested it here at the Nitro World Games. The inaugural one in 2016 in Rice Cycle Stadium, he got the win. Then in 2017, we did do a BMX Best Trick, but it was in a park comp in 2018. It was Brian Fox that walked out of there with the winner of that one. So here we go, a victory lap for Ryan Williams.
Here we go. Double backflip 720, and unfortunately just looping out, but it does not matter. He is taking home 1st place. I think Willie is undefeated on this setup, and he is over the moon, and it's so awesome to see all the riders down there cheering each other on.
Well, let's send it down to Caroline Buchanan.
Ryan, you have done it. 3rd time is the charm. You have got yourself back on the top of the box. What does this moment mean for you?
It means so much. I'm just so happy to have such an amazing event. Thank you so much to everyone that came out. I know we couldn't get it done on the weekend. I know it's hard to get here Monday, but you're here, and that was for you. So I appreciate you all. Thank you, Action Sports. I love you so much. I'm absolutely exhausted, but I gave my all today for you, and I love you.
Congratulations, Ryan Williams.
So there you go, making his 2nd podium appearance out here tonight. Remember, he got 2nd place at Scooter Best Trick to start off the afternoon here inside the Suncorp Stadium. And yeah, he's gone for the trifecta now. And the 3 times we've hosted BMX Best Trick on this ramp, he's come out in the top spot all 3 times.
Yeah, and as you can see, he's just got certain tricks that just no one else can even really, I don't think, come close to. Here we have the front flip, front bike flip, and getting it down in the 1st run just makes you feel so much more confident going into your last tricks. But it is just perfect. It looks like a video game trick. To be honest, I don't think you can even do some of these tricks on a video game.
It's absolutely insane how vertical he is in the middle of that. It's like he's in a KOD and just tucks that one around and just It's I could watch that replay over and over and over again, but man, what a finish right there for the BMX Best Trick final presented by Monster Off-Road Wheels. And Ryan Williams making history out here tonight by being undefeated on this setup, as you said earlier there, Todd, and that smile couldn't be any bigger right now.
Yeah, it's certainly gonna be hard to take him off the top on that trick. I mean,
also, let's walk the plank a little bit here. Who do you think's possibly in contention for the Lego Innovation Award out here tonight? I keep forgetting about that one.
I mean, that's kind of hard. You know, you've got David Godziak, you know, Lupos, Harley. I mean, even though he didn't right away perfect, that triple backflip no-hander was just something else. And then unfortunately, Brandon Schmidt getting taken out early.
Yeah, it had to withdraw from rounds 2 and 3, but hopefully he's okay. Saw him up and walking around and talking to the fans out there and signing some autographs. So we're just waiting to get the awards ceremony underway here. Hey everybody, Jimmy Coleman here, that's Todd Mine over there, and we've had been a busy night out here, and we still have one more event to go, and this one makes me really nervous. We got FMX Best Trick still coming up, but how does it feel to be up here in the booth? I know you're normally out there in the field riding and on the shows, but your first time in the TV booth, how do you feel?
I feel good. It's a little bit different being up here and watching all the boys send it, but to be honest, it's been unreal to be up here and, you know, pretty much have like a bird's eye view of all the action. BMX Best Trick is my favorite event, but what's coming up next, I think, is what we've all been waiting for. There's been so much hype on social media on what we are about to see, and I mean, pretty much you're either landing it or you're rolling away in the back of an ambulance with what's coming up next.
Well, it's all about to unfold as our final event of the night. For right now, let's send it down to another guy that you're very familiar with on the Nitro Circus Live Tour. It's none other than the MC, Micah Krantz, who has our podium presentation.
Queensland, Australia. Can I get some noise for that contest? How amazing. One of the best in the history of BMX right here. Nitro World Games will be written down in the history books as one of the best contests of all time. Now to our podium. In third place, Riverside, California, it's Pat Casey! In second place, only needing 2 runs, his brother Podium at the Rampage. This week at World Games, he's standing up himself. How about some noise? Second place, David Godziak! And our winner, he's a cyborg, he's a phenom, he's the greatest living action sports athlete in the world. Donna, your boy did it. Give it up for Ryan Williams! And on Lego City Innovation Trick of the Night, you know what it is. Forward front bike flip from Ryan Williams. Give him the trophy. Lego City Innovation. Make some noise for your podium. BMX Best Trick.